What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I do hope you guys are doing well. Who would have thought that I would be sat here in 2025 announcing a base game Guild Wars update? Now, Guild Wars Reforged has just been announced, and I want to go into some of the details as someone who has played both, primarily Guild Wars 2, but recently been playing quite a bit of Guild Wars 1 and enjoying it. This really came out of left field for me. I knew nothing about this, and I'm really excited to share some news. So in this video, we're going to be covering everything that's coming from the Reforged update, including the surprise return of some former devs, what this potentially means for both veterans and newer players, and why this beloved MMO is stepping back into the spotlight again. Not that it really ever left. So let's just start with the basics. What actually is Guild Wars Reforged? So from what I can grasp, Guild Wars Reforged is essentially a major modernization update to the original Guild Wars game. This is still the same game and the same MMO or MMO Lite that has been enjoyed by millions of players over the years. This update seems to plan to enhance graphics, update the UI, just add modern PC features, and for the first time ever it seems to be actually including full native controller support. Now in the trailer you can also see that Steam Deck verification is a huge accolade that they're really pushing forward for this particular client, which I think is really, really cool. Now it seems on December 3rd is when the new upgraded experience will launch, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. And the best bit is, if you own Guild Wars already, this update is completely free, and this is just another reason why I love the development team over at ArenaNet and their subsidiary companies, because I just feel like so much effort has clearly gone into this project, and you know, it really feels like they're kind of paying the community back in a way by still pumping life into a game that's been out for quite a long time now. Now, it seems for newer players, Guild Wars Reforged will cost around $20. I mean, obviously, I'm in the UK here, so the price will be a little bit lower than that. But from what I can see, that doesn't just include the base game, that includes the expansions too, being Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall. It looks like they're all bundling it together. One price, all the content, on Steam, Steam Deck verification. They've gone crazy. It seems to be they've really, really gone for this. In my opinion, it kind of seems like they're going for an ultimate MMO sort of value pack kind of design, and this will give new players access to some of the most iconic MMO campaigns ever made. And these are campaigns that I'm personally working through myself behind the scenes too. Now, it seems there is a little bit of a story behind the update itself, especially the team coming together. It looks like Guild Wars Reforged is kind of a result of a bit of a co-development partnership between ArenaNet and a studio called 2 Weeks. Now, from what I could see, 2 Weeks looks like it was formed in 2024 by former ArenaNet developers, which is really cool. These are people that worked on the original Guild Wars, left the studio, and then came back after around 15 years? Specifically to help update their old game. When does that happen? These developers will be bringing a combined 14+ year experience working on classic Guild Wars, literally returning back to their hometown. To me at least, this seems like less of a patch and definitely more of a passion project, which I think is really, really nice. Now, we touched on a key feature earlier, which I do just want to breathe a little bit more life into, and that is the full X input controller compatibility, which essentially means that Xbox controllers, Steam Deck controls, PC handhelds, any modern X input device will work seamlessly, and this is huge for a couple of reasons. Guild Wars 1, if you ever played it before, you'll know was never designed for controllers. It was never even designed to have them in mind. The game is just too old for this. It predates mainstream gamepad PC gaming. Secondly, this will open the door, potentially, to newer audiences, inviting newer players in. Many players these days don't enjoy the whole keyboard and mouse trip. They just want to kick back, put their feet up, and play on a gamepad. So you've got the option to do that. One thing that did pop in my mind is that this is now potentially more feasible to play on a TV, where you can just kick back, have a beer, shoot the shit, play some Guild Wars, and just relax. I do lastly feel like the Steam Deck integration will do a massive wonder for this game. Pretty much being able to take a pocket MMO Lite on the go wherever you are is just inherently really, really interesting, and something that I am kind of considering myself, I'm not going to lie. Now, of course, the game won't contain Guild Wars 2's action combat, not even close. This is the original click-to-move style that we've all come to know and love over the years, but the developers have said in multiple different press releases and articles that controller support does feel more natural, more modern, which is kind of impressive given how old the game actually is. There has been a lot of references to some visual and audible changes as well. It looks like the game is going to get high DPI monitor support, so it's really kind of catching up with the times now. Loads of the textures and skill icons are being upgraded and kind of brought into the HD era, which is, small but definitely impactful. There are many rendering improvements from new anti-aliasing options, ambient occlusion, and enhanced bloom options too. I think a lot of time has gone into these changes, modernizing the game's lighting and visual clarity without compromising the art style of the game that we've all come to know and love. And as for the audio, there are talks of enhanced 3D environmental audio being implemented too. This makes for a more immersive spatial sound design for both the environment and for combat. So to many of you, this update might feel a little bit surprising, so I guess that begs the question, why bring back Guild Wars after 20 years, or at least revitalize it? Well, if we talk about the obvious one, nostalgia is just a very, very powerful tool. We live in a day and age where most modern MMOs that come out now aren't really hitting the spot, and people are definitely looking for reasons to jump into the worlds that they've come to know and love over the years. You've only got to look at the likes of WoW Classic and old school RuneScape to see that really, it's not just rose-tinted glasses. People enjoy these experiences. And sometimes it comes down to just something as simple as restoking the fire. When you present something brand new on Steam, for example, that people don't even realize they're missing, it can invoke new interest to new eyes. And let's not forget to mention that some MMOs are, no longer with us or going to be no longer with us. And this just really opens up another opportunity for Guild Wars to potentially migrate some of those players over. I'm not saying they will, but it's a possibility. However, none of this makes any sense if you don't really know what Guild Wars 1 is good for. Why play it? What's the point? Well, Guild Wars was and still is a groundbreaking MMORPG. There are a few reasons why people love it, and some of these are as follows. It was and still is a buy once MMO with no subscription fee, and they are still sticking with that even now. The game back then really emphasized skill-based combat with limited bars and really kind of encouraged experimentation, but also it was punishing. You step one foot out of line and the game was hard. It certainly wasn't as easy as some of the Guild Wars 2 content. The cooperative missions allowed for many players to experience story content together, and in amongst these reasons, it's still online even today because it's retained a passionate community and an active community that really care about the game. And of course, on the flip side of that, it's also got a development team that are passionate and really care about the game too. In my opinion, Guild Wars Reforged really ensures that this piece of MMO history remains accessible and playable and at least preserved for years to come. So to summarize then, on December the 3rd, Guild Wars will step essentially back into the spotlight again, which I'm really, really excited for. This is not just a standard remaster, it's not a remake, but it is a polished, modernized, and lovingly updated version of a classic. So whether you're a veteran who lived through the game back in 2005, or a brand new player stepping into Tyria for the first time, Guild Wars Reforged is a celebration of a game that changed the MMO landscape forever. So a bit of a shorter video for you guys today. I just wanted to put this out there and see how many of you are jumping back into Guild Wars 1 or picking it up for the first time. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider leaving a like rating, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one.